Hey, good morning. It's Mark here with another morning rant. Time on deck. It's almost 4 o'clock. Can you see that? Yeah, 3:59. Yeah, it's 3:59. Just hit 4 o'clock. All right, let's get into it. Let's talk about our illustrious, honorable, distinguished senator from Alabama, Tommy Tuberville. This Fraggle Rock is an idiot. I'm sorry, he's an idiot. I think at one time he flubbed the three branches of government. He called the three branches of government the House, the Senate, and the presidency. No. It's the Congress, which consists of the House and the Senate, the Supreme Court, and the President. The legislative, executive, and judicial. He said it was the House, the Senate, and the White House. Forgot all about the judicial branch. Anyway, this is what Tommy Tuberville is doing. He's an idiot. Anyway, to make him even more of an idiot, he stepped on his own foot the other night. They did what they call a votorama. All right, and senators hate votoramas. When they're about to pass a bill or some significant legislation, they have what they call a votorama, and you got 100 senators in there, and they all have amendments to this bill. So they go out and they vote on different amendments to a certain bill, and one of the amendments that Tommy Tuberville wanted to put on the infrastructure bill, which is what they're voting on. One of the amendments that they wanted to put on it was a defund the police amendment. I want you to hear Senator Tuberville. I want you to hear his statement before we go into it. Let me get that out of the way.
3113 and ask that it be reported by the number.
The clerk will report.
Senator from Alabama, Mr. Tuberville proposes amendment number 3113.
Thank you very much. Believe it or not, people back home actually listen sometimes to what we say here. To some local leaders across the country, the far left rally cry of defund the police is not just a DC rhetoric, they're actually acting on it. More than 80% of law enforcement in America is conducted by state and local police departments. 80%. These men and women are community heroes. We should invest in all of them. But local leaders across the country have decided the woke thing to do is cancel their city's police force. My amendment is pretty simple. If your city council wants to defund their police, don't expect the federal government to make up the difference. The American taxpayers in Alabama have to pick up the tab for local leaders in Oregon and Minnesota who value the woke defund the police movement over their own community safety. I call on my colleagues to support our law enforcement by voting yes for this amendment. Opposing my amendment is a vote in support of defunding the police and against the men and women in blue.
Now, okay. Now he thought that's what defund the police meant. He thought defunding the police meant that they were going to take money from the budget of the police force and reduce the size of the police force and get rid of policing altogether. Now, there is video out there, because I want to be full disclosure. There's video out there of the quote-unquote squad, AOC and the other lady, I can't remember her name. They're out saying that the money should be taken from police, but you're misinterpreting what they're saying, what is being meant. Now, they're not in the Senate, they're in the House. This is the Senate that we're talking about. So the people in the House may feel a certain way about certain things, and the people in the Senate may feel something differently. But it was wrapped into defunding the police has been wrapped into a Democrat, liberal, progressive issue, and defunding the police is not what it means. And as a matter of fact, defunding the police should have been reforming the police, but defunding caught the bandwagon, and Republicans took it and it spread. Defunding the police does not mean taking money from police per se. It means looking at the budget of police forces, and instead of giving them tanks and military grade weapons, taking some of that money that they have and adding psychiatrists and family counselors and other, like, reshaping what policing means, because there's some instances where a police officer is not warranted. We're not saying that if a 911, no one is saying that if a 911 call is given that no police will show up. It's just that if it's a domestic issue, if it's a family issue, 911 along with a family counselor or something like that should show up to where they can de-escalate the situation. And if not, then the police will be there to back them up, not to take money from the police, just to reform the idea of policing so that way people don't get shot. People don't get shot, not just black folk, but people don't get shot. Just looking at the way we police in this country and just giving a more critical look into it. So what they thought was, or what this fool thought was, they want to defund the police. They want to take money from the police department. Nobody in the Senate ever said anything about taking money from the police department. They've gone out and said, no, we are for police, but we're also for police reform. So Tommy Tuberville here, he thought that he can go and make this amendment. He thought he can go and make this amendment and box in, and box in the Democrats. He thought that I can box them in. I can put them on the record. I can put them on the record of defunding the police, and now we can make more commercials on defunding the police. And so this is what, just wanted to read you guys something. It's going to be a little boring, but I want to read you guys something. This was supposed to be a deficit neutral reserve fund. And what is a deficit neutral reserve fund? Let's go to a 2013 proposal here. They were talking about the Affordable Care Act, and of course a vote-a-rama. So I'm gonna go through this real quick. The annual ritual are supposed to be annual anyway, in which amendments are offered to the Senate budget resolution for the world's greatest deliberative body. Takes forever to vote on all of them, is underway, with amendments on everything from the Affordable Care Act to drones. Many of them promise to establish deficit neutral reserve funds. So let's go into what this is, because I don't want to read everything. Let's take the deficit neutral part. All right. What? How is repealing taxes deficit neutral? Well, it isn't, obviously. Crapo has just required by the rules of the Senate to say it is. None of these funds leading to binding changes in the policy. They're more like a sense of the Senate resolutions on the topics at hand. But the reserve fund language is important. As the CRS report explains, Section 310D of the Budget Act bars the consideration of any amendment to a reconciliation bill that will increase the deficit. Hence, the deficit neutral part. All right. Now, the reserve fund. Reserve funds refer to any provision establishing procedures to revise spending or revenue levels, or both, if certain legislation is enacted or some other condition is met. So that specifies that the policies for which reserve funds are established won't take effect unless other legislation get passed as well. Bottom line up front, the bluff. Here we go. The short version. Deficit neutral reserve funds are completely inconsequential amendments offered as a way to discuss budget irrelevant topics without violating budget reconciliation rules around what you can and can't include in a budget resolution. That's what Tommy Tuberville was doing. He was trying to put this amendment, the only way he can put this amendment into this $1.5 trillion infrastructure bill was to make it a quote unquote deficit neutral and put it in the deficit neutral reserve fund. That way he can go up there and do this. Now, kind of boring, but it makes a point. You heard what he said. Amendment 3113 would establish a deficit neutral reserve fund relating to decreasing federal funding for local jurisdictions that defund the police. What he's saying is exactly what he said. He wants the federal government, if a city council or a county, a local county government, or even a state government, if they decide to quote unquote defund their police and take money from their police departments, that the Senate, the federal government will not. If the governor called on the federal government to give them money, that the federal government will not give them money. But he made a mistake. He made a mistake because he put it out there for senators to vote on. Let's go to Cory Booker for the response to this.
Has expired.
Madam President.
Senator from New Jersey.
And they're so happy because they know what's about to happen. They know what's about to happen. He gave them a carrot and they're going to take it. He put a carrot on the stick. They're going to take it. But he didn't snatch it away. This is the idiocy of Tommy Tuberville.
I am so excited. This is perhaps the highlight of this long and painful and torturous night. This is a gift. If it wasn't complete abdication of Senate procedures and esteem, I would walk over there and hug my colleague from Alabama. And I will tell you right now,
idiot.
thank God, because there's some people who have said that they're members of this deliberative body that want to defund the police, to my horror. And now this senator has given us the gift that finally, once and for all, we can put to bed this scurrilous accusation that somebody in this great esteemed body would want to defund the police. So let all of us, 100 people, not walk, but sashay down there and vote for this amendment and put to rest the lies. And I am sure I will see no political ads attacking anybody here over defund the police. And I would ask unanimous consent to add something else to this obvious bill. Can we add also that every senator here wants to defund the police, believes in God, country, and apple pie? Thank you.
Because the Republican Party has kept the narrative of they believe in funding the police, they believe in God and country, and the Democrats do not believe in God and country, and they don't believe in apple pie. So Tommy Tuberville just walked the Republican Party into a hole, walked them into a wall, and the Democrats saw that as an opportunity and took it. You want to vote on not defunding the police? Great. So what happened? They did exactly what he said. They sashayed down. And 99 of 100 senators voted on this Amendment 113 or 3113. Now, why did one not vote? Why is there 99 and not 100? Because the woman that you saw that addressed Cory Booker, she's a senator. She was serving as the president of the Senate at the time. The vice president is the president of the Senate. So technically, the vice president should be sitting in that chair every day. For 8 years, for eight long years, John Adams sat in that seat and did absolutely nothing. He hated the vice presidency. He thought it was the worst job that anybody ever created on the face of this earth. But he sat there for 8 years. Okay. The vice president is supposed to be there, quote unquote, presiding over the Senate. But times have changed. Vice presidents do other stuff. So what they do is they rotate senators in that seat. And that's why 99 of 100 people voted. Now, if it came down to it to where they knew it was going to be a 50-50 vote, then the vice president would take over and reside in that seat to be the tie-breaking vote. So that's why 99 of 100 senators voted in favor of Amendment 3113. Now, why is that important? Like I said, the Republican Party can no longer say that Democrats want to defund the police. They can't say it. They can't. They made a lot of money. They made a lot of ads. They got a lot of House and Senate seats. They almost got the White House on saying that Democrats want to defund the police. Now they can no longer say it because they put it out there for a vote, and everybody voted in favor for it. So now also, and Cory Booker was just being a little tempered levity here, but Cory Booker also said, let's also vote on the love of God, the love of country, and the love of apple pie, because the Republican Party was getting out there that Democrats do not believe in the foundations of what American government is, and then we don't believe in God, we don't believe in country, we're against government, we're against this country, we're against the people of this country. We're against the Second Amendment. We're against God, and we want to defund the police. Well, now you can no longer say that. So, Tommy Tuberville, thank you, you idiot, because you gave the Democrats something that now the Republicans don't have. You raised a lot of money off defund the police. Now you can no longer do that because there's a vote out there on the record showing that Democrats do not want to defund the police. You idiot. Oh my God. And this is the guy, God damn it. Tommy Tuberville is the guy that Alabamians wanted to send to Congress. And look at what we get for it. Freaking idiot. So I'm gonna leave it right there, people. That is crazy. So yeah. kind of a nerdy rant today, but a warranted one. The Senate, and even though and this is another way of stalling actual voting by putting up all these amendments. Even though there was a 99% vote on the defund the police thing, it passed on a 50-49, or I think 51-49 or 50-49 vote. So it passed on a bipartisan basis, the $1.5 trillion. So even though Republicans voted for certain provisions in the amendment, for certain amendments to the infrastructure bill, they voted against the infrastructure bill. So that's what the Republican Party do. They will add amendments to certain things. They will continue to hinder progression of a certain bill by saying, okay, we want this change, we want this change, we want this change. And when it comes time for them when they've run out all their different options for changes, and it comes time to vote for the actual bill, they vote against it. This is what they do. Now, 1.3 or 1.5, somewhere up in there, $1 trillion is going to go out across the country. You're going to see videos from me, from YouTube, from different constituents, from different lawmakers of how, as Nancy Pelosi puts it, Republican Party say no and take the dough. They're going to go out and brag to their constituents that money is going to come to fix the roads on Main Street, the bridges and the seaports and the railroads and everything. The Republican Party is going to go out there and brag and say, look at the money that's coming in for you guys. Not knowing that, the people not knowing that their congressman, their senator voted against that money coming there. but they're going to brag that the money is coming. They did it with what do you call it? The stimulus package. They did it with the stimulus package. They said no, tried to stop it, added amendments to it, and voted against it. But when the money came to their districts, they bragged about the money coming to their districts. So you're going to see that again. But anyway, let me get up out of here, people. What is today? Today is Thursday. And the reason why I want to address today being Thursday is because tomorrow is Friday. Tomorrow is Friday the 13th. And what did I tell you guys about what was going to happen on Friday the 13th? Friday the 13th is the day that President Biden is to walk away from the White House. As a matter of fact, moving trucks should be showing up this afternoon to move him out of the White House and put Donald Trump back in as president. So that's what's going to happen tomorrow, according to the My Pillow guy. I will see you guys on the next one. You guys have a great Thursday, all right? I'm out.